Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Daisy Pooy, and I am one of three Tongan families that attend Christian Brothers Catholic Private High School here in Sacramento, California. We make up a very small percentage of the Asian Pacific Islander group, but I am proud to represent our community and our culture. For the last 9 months, I have been completely off the radar, and many of you have reached out wanting to know what the status or the situation is with the current federal lawsuit filed by former principal Chris Orr against Christian Brothers and against the former president Lorcan Barnes. The purpose of my message this evening is to share my commitment with those of you that are wanting to know what the next steps are. And I've spent a lot of time reflecting and praying, and I didn't know whether or not I'd be able to pull myself together to move forward with my goals, with where I want to get with this, and basically going to give you my commitment that I will be seeking justice for all of our families. Um, I'm very disappointed with the lack of leadership from the San Francisco, New Orleans, LaSalle district, especially the Board of Trustees and those in the business office that served under Lorcan Barnes. Now, we do have a new principal and a new president that I have not met, so unfortunately, none of this applies to them. However, I do have my guard up, and I am unsure who I can trust at Christian Brothers. But something that brought us to CB was the ability for my kids to receive higher education. Now, many of us in our family have not been able to reach those goals, and it was my intent that starting with my family and my children, we can kind of set the tone and change what that cycle looks like in our community. And so I've been very fortunate and truly grateful to the supporters and those that have helped us along the way be here. So thank you. But I do apologize that a lot of the information I'm going to cover tonight is going to be sensitive and it will be offensive. But I have been left numb for the last 9 months and haven't been able to move forward with my goals. And we need change. We need change at the district level, and we need change at the board level. And unfortunately, these situations have been swept under the rug because for the last couple months, it hasn't been addressed. And there's just no way that I can turn a blind eye to this situation. So bear with me. I have a lot of information to cover, but I think it's important that the community and parents know straight from the source and facts based on the meetings that I've hosted and the communications I've had with parents. And just there's been a lot of rumors out there when this whole situation took place. And I'm here to dispel those rumors. And if you have any questions, I have set up a email address. Last year when I first created this website, this landing page on Facebook, LaSalle Principles, this page was intended to share updates on our efforts as to trying to figure out why Principal Chris Orr was abruptly terminated at Christian Brothers. So bear with me. Exactly 1 year ago from today, Chris Orr, for the first time following his termination, now his termination was announced October 14th, 2019, and it came to all of us as a surprise. So following that termination, we did not receive any news from the Board of Trustees or any information from the school as to the reasoning behind Principal Orr's abrupt termination. Now, 1 year ago from today, Chris Orr attended one of our parent meetings. That was his first time meeting with families and speaking publicly since he was fired. And just to give a little background, Christian Brothers was established in 1876 in Sacramento, and they've been around for 143 years. Principal Chris Orr was the very first minority, the first African American to hold this position, and it is quite disturbing that it's taken CB that long to hire someone of color to lead the school. And I believe that it was Chris Orr's intention to lead the school in a direction of inclusivity and of respect for all persons. And unfortunately, I believe that the administration, including Lorcan Barnes, assumed that he was going to just come on board and push papers around and say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, I'm proud that Principal Orr stood up for the values that have been extremely important in our family, and values that are constantly mentioned in the communications that have been set out by Christian Brothers: respect for all persons, inclusive community, the 5 core principles, and the LaSallian values. And these words, to me, I felt have been tossed around without any meaning and marketed as if they were something that Christian Brothers truly lived up to. And I believed at some point when we first attended Christian Brothers at the same time as Principal Orr, I believed that CB truly upheld their end of the bargain as to the type of community and the type of school that they represented. And I am not a first generation, second generation, third, fourth, even fifth generation. Some families that I know have a long history of being a CB alum. I am none of those. My family is the first to attend Christian Brothers. My family is the first to attend private high school, and it is a blessing. However, I am extremely disappointed with the lack of leadership that I have experienced and have seen here. Being a parent, I guess you would say, being a parent on the inside, truly just going to lay out all my cards out in hopes that more families will join me in tackling these challenges, very familiar challenges that are currently going on around the world, which I will not touch on because the purpose of my message tonight is to lay out all the facts and be the one to tell you that I created the LaSallian Principles page with the help of many parents who helped put together the mission statement and the messaging as to why this page was created. And I'm going to now utilize this page to share all my personal efforts on how I'm going to tackle these issues. So bear with me. I'm going to jump around here, but hopefully you'll follow me through to the end. So exactly 1 year ago from today, Chris Orr met with many of our families for the first time after his abrupt termination on October 14, 2019. And I'm not going to read his full statement, but I will take out some paragraphs here that I feel necessary to share. I had to sit on a Sunday afternoon and tell my wife, my son, my niece, who are CB students, with my son being in his senior year, that I was told that I am no longer the principal of Christian Brothers High School and that I would not be on campus Monday morning. That was heartbreaking. After we went through our moment, they asked, What do we do, Dad? What do we tell people to do? You would think after a whole year, and I tried many times to put a message out there, and I failed because every time I broken down. And I thought after 9 months that I'd be able to do this. And obviously I can't, so bear with me. After we went through our moment, they asked, what do we do, Dad? What do we tell people to do? I answer that question with a question. I ask them, when something is unjust, whether it's politics, social action, or whatever, what do you do? They said, we stand up. We stand up for what's right. That's what I'm going to do. I told them it's not about me, I'll be fine. This is about fairness and justice. I have to model for my sons, my nieces and nephews, and for your children. When faced with unfairness and injustice, you stand up with dignity and honor. Put your chin up, your chest out, and with uncompromising humility, you stand up for what's right. I came to CB in 2017 because of those values and the Lasallian principles. Faith in the presence of God, respect for all people, inclusive community, quality education, and concern for the poor and social justice. These have to be more than words on a website or in an email. I live by them, and this has always been my commitment. As many of you know, on July 18th, the president of the school announced his resignation, effective at the end of the school year. His then subsequent decision to abruptly terminate me is improper and truly troubling in light of the personnel reasons and facts surrounding his resignation. I believe my termination was not only unlawful, but it's also completely inconsistent with the policies, rules, and practices established by the Catholic Diocese, Lasallian District, and Board of Trustees. As a result, I have retained legal counsel, Johnny Griffin, and the law office of Johnny L. Griffin III, and we have put together a legal team to respond to this unlawful and unjust termination. I am hopeful that we can resolve this matter expeditiously and without litigation within the courts, such that I can immediately return to campus and continue serving our students and entire CB community. I am compelled to also say, however, that although I cannot at this point discuss all specific facts of the matter, I can unequivocally say that the suspicious rumors concerning the facts of my termination are totally false and completely without merit. I anticipate that within the upcoming days, the Board of Trustees will issue a public statement confirming the falsity of these rumors.